Should we be hearing the music?
Would think so.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
The sensitive high school quarterback who became commander-in-chief of his own army. He would later say of the war, it was awesome, but also, it wasn't.
What's the deal with bananas? I mean, they got orange juice, you got apple juice. Where's the banana juice?
I never thought of that.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Love having them on. It's it's Dan and John, the guys at the end of the bench. John, you and I need to find something we can do outside of work that we can discuss, because once again, we come to Dan. Only 2 weeks out, Dan. You got a life. You got a life outside of that. We don't.
Yeah, well, it's not it's not that much you'd like to think, but not as much as you might think. But yes, 2 weeks out. Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a Mattress. Give us the location where we can pick up tickets. Give us the skinny.
Crossplayers.org, and it's going to be at the Town Green Amphitheater in Maple Grove. Just off that kind of that town that whatever their downtown area is from Maple Grove, and we're doing it in kind of it's kind of a Renfest style too. So we're being kind of silly. Not quite that baudy, but it's
when you say that you want people to dress like the characters in the thing, is that and to watch it? Are you getting that crazy?
Exactly.
You are?
They do great. No. I was just going along with the bit now. But
gonna have a turkey leg on a stick, and I'm like, I could go to this thing. It could be something very interesting. 2 weeks.
Yeah, they don't get creative enough with the city of Maple Grove's wonderful host, but they don't get real creative with their concession stand. But yeah, that would be cool. That would be nice.
I'd jump on that. All right, let's talk some sports quick, if we may. More of a global thing, if we can, up top. If I were to say, guys, and we'll start with Minnesota Vikings, if I would have said, John, you could have got Aaron Rodgers for $13 million, would you have grabbed it?
Nope.
No?
No.
Super Bowl winning quarterback, Hall of Famer, $13 million. That's like chump change.
Prima donna.
Dan's shaking his head too.
Okay. I don't think he's a great team player, and I think he would mess with the chemistry of the group.
All right, Dan, are you in the same ballpark?
People are making Brett Favre comparisons, but I don't think it would be the same impact that Brett had. And I supported Brett when he was here. I thought that was good.
I thoroughly did not. I had no ability to be able to vote for Brett Favre because I hated him for most of my life, and I couldn't switch it off for one season. So that's why I'm against it. Dan, you wouldn't take a Hall of Fame quarterback for a backup for 1 year for $13 million?
Is he going to be a back? Is he going to be a backup?
Oh no, he'll be starting for them. I'm just saying that we only have one real quarterback right now, right? We have to have somebody sit behind JJ.
Yeah, he's not coming if he's not virtually he's not guaranteed starter. So, so I'm assuming he's playing for that $13 million. And no, I don't want him. I think he's more problem that his value on the field is no longer better than his problems off of it. His just annoyances and his selfishness and that. So no, nothing to do with him.
Obviously, Minnesota thought the same thing. When we play Pittsburgh, how bad is that going to be? I believe we played them this year.
We're going to
I think he's going to pull that Hall of Fame quarterback crap on us. And okay, let's move on to the NBA. I thought it'd be a bigger blowout, quite frankly, that the Thunder was going to just throw the Pacers a haymaker. They do win 123-107 last night. They kind of clawed up to that double-digit lead by the half, and then it just kind of hung there. I think Indianapolis actually figures they can hang. Dan, I'll give you first. Can Indianapolis hang, or is this just a matter of time?
I think it's just a matter of time. If this Oklahoma City, if the version we saw last night is the one we see in the rest of the series, it's over. Because this was more of a team effort than we saw even during the Wolves series.
Yeah.
When they won several games by a lot. this was an all around. That's why I think that's what I was most impressed by. Is, it wasn't just SGA. I mean, it was a lot of SGA, but the SGA creating opportunities for the rest, and then the defensive and the bench. The bench was, they looked deeper, and that's one thing you wouldn't say about Oklahoma City. They look like the deeper team.
Yeah, John, I'm just a big defensive basketball guy. I've always said this when my kids growing up. I just love good defensive basketball, and there may be none better than the Thunder. To watch that team run around like crazed animals. I mean, they're back and forth covering for each other. They don't mess up. It's daunting.
It is, and I got to agree with Dan. I think I don't think Indiana has much of a chance. I'd be surprised if they win one more game, because even though they had a better second half, the Pacers did, they still only managed to match what Oklahoma City was doing. They couldn't really get ahead of them in either quarter. So, you could say the game wasn't over in the half, but it kind of was over at the half because they never mounted a superior challenge.
See, but that's what you're expecting, though, right? They've been down by 20 and always come back. They were able to hold that off. Now, can we talk the schedule for a minute? You play the first game on Thursday. You're staying in OKC, and you wait till Sunday to play the second game, and now we'll wait till Wednesday to play the next. We want this to last until the opening kickoff for NFL, right? That's what we're looking for.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, at least for the first training camp game. Yeah.
Well, yes. Is there any other reason? Is Sunday such a great night that couldn't have been a Friday or a Saturday? Maybe I'm missing the prime time that they're looking for. Thursday and Saturday would have been a whole lot better. I don't get it. They're trying to drag this on. Dan?
I think they still look at Sunday as being the premier date to play. High profile game. No, I mean, is Saturday that much different than Sunday? I mean, they're both weekend days. They're both weekends.
Yeah,
and they could play again on. Let's say they go crazy and even wait until Tuesday to play the next game. They could play two games. They could play Tuesday and then again. They could play two games during the week. They don't want to do that. No, they can't do that.
John, are you okay to take that? It feels like the whole rhythm's off. You do the year like in a certain pattern, couple games this week, 3 the next, couple this week, and then you get to the playoffs. When did the playoffs start? I mean, have we not been in playoff mode now for about 2 months?
I know, and it seems to be this sport. I mean, football, okay, you play one game, but you got it every weekend. Baseball, you're playing back-to-back games. It's got to when they're in the same city that they can't have just one day between the games.
It's a little like hockey, though, right? Hockey's still in the midst of theirs. They're in the exact same mode.
They do the same thing. It's like if you're in the same city, why are you spending more than one day between the games? It makes it hard to keep up the momentum.
Well, I think it's momentum. It gives the other team more time to watch every bit of last second of film. I mean, I guess maybe it makes better basketball, but it also helps out so you tweak an ankle a little. Well, take a week off. We'll see you next. It doesn't eliminate anybody for a small little injury, right?
Yeah. I mean, look at the kids who play high school basketball. If you get in a state tournament, it's game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything else? All right, I'm going to go to break. We'll talk some Twins. I got to talk to you guys about your Twins. Not sure whether I'm on it or off it, this bandwagon. We'll talk. We'll talk with Dan and John, the guys at the end of the bench, right after this.
All the special interests are represented in St. Paul. But who speaks for you? Center of the American Experiment does. Our policy fellows dig into the tough issues that matter to you and offer common sense solutions on education, taxes, crime, and energy. American Experiment is the trusted, nonpartisan voice of Minnesotans like you. We are working every day to make Minnesota a better, safer, more prosperous place. We are American Experiment. Go to americanexperiment.org to learn more.
Dust from gravel roads and driveways does more than make your car dirty inside and out. It gets down into your lungs, and it's bad for your health. Now there's an environmentally friendly solution for your dust problems. It's called DustLock. DustLock can control all your summer dust problems with just one application. Protect your vehicle and your lungs. Learn more at dustlock.com.
Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
It's the Al Travis Show. We got them, John and Dan, on the program with us. They are the guys at the end of the bench, and we talk all things sports. Gentlemen, the Minnesota Twins, discussion amongst ourselves here. Couple of things. You get happy about them, you jump on this bandwagon. Then Pablo, I don't know, blows a shoulder. I don't know, whatever it is. And now Zebby's gone. Once Zebby's gone, what do we got? The bats seem to be coming alive. But really, can you do anything in the Central without the pitching? I'll go with you first, John, if that's all right.
Well, yeah, it's the pitching is a bit of a mess. I mean, losing Pablo, I think the Twins have enough offense and enough pitching to get through that. But now Zebby is down for a couple of weeks. Not that Zebby's a heater.
Zebby's down. Zebby's down. Who names their kid Zebby?
Down goes Zebby. Down goes Zebby. So,
sorry.
Now they're going to bring up Simeon Woods Richardson, who started the season with us, but then wasn't having it. And I don't know that he's got his mojo back yet. I mean, he might be nice for a spot start, but it's really points to the fact that the Twins probably need to make a move before the trade deadline. But there's a whole bunch of questions around that, because how much do you invest for a team that's on the trading block, or the up for sale?
Oh, yeah. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, and starting pitching at the trade deadline is
expensive.
Prospect-wise. Anyone. I already saw a couple of in the last week. I already saw a couple of rumors on Paul Skeens, and it's from Pittsburgh. And it's like, well, yeah, that would be awesome. But we would have to give up. We'd have to give up everybody and any one of our big prospects, and they probably want one of our starting pitching prospects. They probably want, they probably want Zebby or someone else. But it's depends on how long Zebby's going to be out for. But yeah, it's funny because 2 weeks ago, pitching was the strength of the team.
Yeah,
that was as we were starting to get back on the bandwagon. It was the realization that this was top 2 or 3 pitching staffs in the entire league.
Yep.
And now it's just losing a couple of key players, couple of key guys, and it's.
But let's play this out though. There's plenty of baseball to go. Al, I understand this, but I don't see the Twins spending any money. I don't see them doing anything to upset this apple cart, because first off, we don't ever do that. We're very seldom doing anything big at a trade deadline. So you don't want to waste the money, and it's for sale. So you don't want to the books to look bad. And you could look at the Minnesota Twins. Tell me if I'm right. I'll start with you, Dan. Minnesota is in the first wild card spot. We sit here now. If we could just float there, you get the Minnesota Twins in the postseason. They're worth the money. Minnesota Twins fans are happy because we asked for nothing more out of a team. Could they not play that game that you can hang where we're at with what we've got and sell this thing for more?
They absolutely could. Well, that the big question is going to be selling it for their asking price, because nobody has wanted to pay the asking price so far, and they have been holding firm on $1.7 billion. And no one is willing to go above 1.5. The poor things.
That's last 200 mil. That's the deal.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think the Twins could absolutely stay in their current position, or certainly as a wild card team with the current breakdown, and the assumption that you're going to have Pablo back for the stretch run, and then any. Knock on wood, playoff.
Yeah.
And Zebby's probably not that long, but I don't know. They remember that the day of the Pablo injury, they're saying, "No, we don't think it looks that bad." I messaged John and another friend there saying, "It's like, how often have we heard this? This makes me really nervous. How often have we heard this? It's not that bad. He's just, it's going to be minor. He might miss a start. It's like, it's like, woo, really? Okay.
John, bust that down for us. What did you hear what Dan's saying? Do we just float this thing and just see what we can do for the next 80 games?
Well, it's nice to think that, but what happens when Buxton has another injury, or Wallner or somebody else goes down and you lose a bat? I mean, you can see the impact of these bats, even in the losses. and that one we should have won. We should have taken 2 out of 3, but Wallner's back. He's smacking the home runs. Buxton's making plays, and his speed is helping again, as always. So, that can overcome a starter who maybe doesn't have his best stuff. But if you lose one of those guys, and somebody will get injured. I mean, guys get injured, and they go on the 10-day list or something like that. You can only take so much of that stuff when you lose things, or when you stand pat and you lose those things, and you got nothing to back it up. It's a dicey proposition.
Oh, I'm all for getting them. I just don't see it happening with the ownership as is. And I think if they get in the playoffs and even make it a run, win a series, the team will be worth much more than 1.5, which is weird to say.
We'll get some cast off, or they'll put something together, a scrap heap guy for a couple of prospects, and they'll bring in somebody maybe to bolster the pen. That might be what they do.
All right, with our last couple of minutes, because we're way on this bandwagon now, the Lynx look like they're having a heck of a time with the Wings, a 1-9 team. There is a 1-point difference going into the fourth quarter, and it's like the Lynx said, this has been fun playing with you, but get out of the way. And they 81-65, 9-0 start. This is tied for third for them. They have a 13-10 and 3-9, 9-0 start seasons. These girls get hot fast. Dan, you following along? I like it. I enjoy watching them now. I'm on the bandwagon.
I haven't been following as closely, but I'm just kind of definitely paying attention. And I was just thinking, it's like, man, they just this looks like a team that doesn't want to. They just refuses to lose. It's like when we're like you said yesterday with we had 1 point in the fourth quarter and going in, and we're just gonna well that was you said that was fun. That was cute.
We'll
let you feel.
Thanks for the practice,
guys.
For a while. We're gonna go play now.
Yeah, thanks for the practice.
Yeah.
Now
John, what do you think? What do you think of team? They win one more. They're a quarter way through the season almost without a loss. I mean, they're for real.
Oh, they are definitely for real. And I expect they could bust that 13-0 record pretty easily. There were all sorts of predictions that Nafisa Collier would be MVP of the year, and I mean, she looks like it. She is starring in every game.
She went 28 last night.
If you haven't watched them, tune in or go somewhere and watch the game. There's some places around town that will show the links. So find a spot.
Guys, I run out of time. I got to fly. Dan and John, appreciate you guys being here as always. We'll see you again on Friday. Fair enough?
Thanks, Al.
See you.
John. Yep. John and Dan, the guys at the end of the bench.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something